I explored art on the streets and never sat in the classroom. Streets of Delhi that no one has seen, explore hidden gems. Charlie Chaplin taught me a very interesting thing that
What was your first income?
I think it was
आप आर्टिस्ट बनना चाहते हो या एक ब्रांड बनना चाहते हो?
Modi is also a brand.
Hello, I am Tabassu. Welcome to the podcast over coffee and chai. Thank you for making time to talk to us. What do you have with you? Anything, coffee or chai?
I just had a cup of green tea.
Okay, that's great. Are we meeting Anuj or it is Captain Looney?
Captain Looney.
That's fine. Captain Looney. कैसा रहा आपका आज का दिन?
ठीक था.
ठीक था, nothing interesting.
I'm trying to make a new art piece.
Okay. You have a really unconventional name. Did you consider other names or was it an immediate and intrinsic choice?
The first adopted name as an artist was Stagnant Goatee. I got it from a friend, and it was very interesting that when I was passing class 12th, he just wrote it on my white uniform. It's still there somewhere in my cupboard. Intentionally, I used it initially so that my art could stand out. But then when I actually started exploring art, I thought that Captain Looney is a better name for me.
Okay. So, how does the name reflect your personality or the essence of what you do?
Well, if you see my art, it's all a Looney Tune or it's all Looney Tale. That's why I'm Looney. I took the liberty of exploring art and learning art from wherever I can find it.
Okay. Can your domain the meaning of your name a bit?
Sorry, I did not get your question, Tabassum.
I mean to say, can you explain the meaning of your name a bit?
I explored art for 5 years on the streets and never sat in the classroom. I was studying my BFA at a university in Delhi. It was a very suffocating situation for me to sit in a classroom and stare at red brick walls and um, try to learn art. While art is a subject that can only be learned when you flow freely. So I explored the streets like a loony man, and
Okay.
I was the captain of my own ship who used to bunk classes, sometimes sit at Monday House, explore streets of Delhi that no one has seen, explore hidden gems, sit there, try to collect stories. Hence, I'm Captain Looney.
सो कभी भी आपने कोई प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग की है पेंटिंग की या अपने आर्ट फॉर्म से रिलेटेड कुछ?
जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि मैं बीएफए परस्यू कर रहा था. बीएफए का फुल फॉर्म है बैचलर्स ऑफ फाइन आर्ट्स.
ओके.
और हमें फर्स्ट, हालांकि मेरा स्पेशलाइजेशन एनिमेशन में था, पर हमें फर्स्ट ईयर में पेंटिंग और प्रिंट मेकिंग और सारी चीजें ही पढ़ा रहे थे बेसिकली. तो अपना हाथ ट्राई किया था, बट मोस्टली मैं एनिमेशन में ज्यादा फोकस था और उसमें भी मेरे को कैरेक्टर डिजाइन में बहुत मजा आता था.
सो आई वांट टू आस्क यू व्हाट आर योर बिगेस्ट इन्फ्लुएंसेस हु और व्हिच brought out the artist in you?
There's so many, starting from the basic that every art student looks at when he's a novice. We look at the great PhD writers and artists and playwrights, and we try to join the IPTAs, and we follow Habib Tanveer, and we follow artists like MF Hussain, Isich Raza. I really love Souza personally. Then though Raza and Hussain and the whole PAG are greats, actually greats. And then I came across a lot of artists. Like there's this artist called Jake Fried. He used to make really amazing animations on YouTube back in the day. And then I met a lot of people from NID who really helped me structure my thinking and my thought process. Then went into exploring art from the Paleolithic era to the modern era that we stand in. That was quite a journey, and there are
That's
not
all.
one or two, but a lot. And a lot also come from the field of theater. Like I was always, my work was very much influenced by the writers of 70s, like Vijay Tendulkar, and a lot of philosophers too influenced me.
That sounds great. So, among all the artists and influences, are there particular themes also that constantly inspired your work?
Yes, so basically it started with expressions, how art can be used to expression myself and what was going on inside me. And then there were a lot of themes that added, and I wanted to emote my stories out on the streets. It was very interesting to talk to the people on the street and know their stories and try to portray them through art. And that also uh, gave me the leeway to explore theater as well.
Since we have got hold on an artist today, let me ask this. Can you walk us through the stages you follow, the idea stage of the finished piece?
Okay, recently, for example, I did an art piece. So it started with what am I supposed to make? So, for example, when I made that art piece for you guys, it all started with seeing what do I mean by unwrapping labels, and then I work a lot with symbols, and I love to work with a lot of forms. I don't like disoriented forms because it's very people. It's very easy to make or present art as it is, but I like to see things in between the lines. I want to know the macabre truth behind the mask that you wear in everyday society.
Yeah.
So uh, I play with a lot of forms. I play with a lot of symbols. Hence, then a deep dive into the meaning of symbols and how words can add up. Sometimes Charlie Chaplin taught me a very interesting thing that words can be distracting, or sounds can be too loud sometimes, or silence can be too loud, and some all you need is one sound, that's it, or you
Mhm.
just need to emote through eyes sometimes, and you don't need words. So it depends how you want to play with it. And after that, again, there's a lot of discourse happening with the patron in this process, and then you come up with the final art piece. If it is patent based, or if I do it for myself, then it is again the same process. But since I am the person who's making the art, so it is a self discourse in this case. I hope I've answered you well.
Yeah. Following the next question. Do you use some specific text or something for reference?
Yes, I do read a lot of things. I do read about a lot of I do read a lot of books on psychology. I do read a lot of books on philosophy. Sometimes I love reading a lot of plays, and I love reading a lot of stories. So yes, sometimes they do help you structure the art piece well. Well, the initial ones when I was in after it all started after class 9, that I was trying to uh, retrospect my talents. I wanted to see what is it that I can do. So I started making art pieces. They did not have form.
Okay.
They did not have. They were precisely they were bad. They did have a thought behind it, but They do not have a basic structure or anything. Then I started in my BFA first year. I was no good, and I was trying to explore the form, and I was trying to
Mhm.
explore my language, because art for me is not making a painting like what Ravi Verma or any of the realistic artists would do. Uh, but for me, it was more of expressing and getting into the psychosis of the whole process. So then I started working with forms, and I started working with the bare basics. I did not want
Mhm.
to. I did not want to buy canvases or um, paints or anything. I just wanted to make things with bare minimal um, things I had. So I used diaries. I used black pen, blue pen, pencils, and red pens, and I tried to emote, because art is for everyone, and art is a day-to-day process, and it's not something elitist that you need a canvas or you need expensive equipment for that, brushes of all sorts or something.
Okay, that's really unique choice. So you started really young. Were you trying to convey any message through your art? And how about now?
Yes, I always try to convey a message through art. I always try to talk people um, through art, and I always want people to converse with my art. And and today's state is very sorry that people are running after cringe rather
Mm.
than knowing the aesthetics behind creation of art. Uh, but that's a tale for another day, I presume. And yeah, I want people to converse with art rather than just buy it for um, bedrooms or dining tables, or just creating a value.
So has technology imparted your artistic process and the way you share your work with the world?
Yes, in recent times, technology has aided art and broken art. It is, I guess, with the advent of AI, you can convert words into animations, um, just like that in seconds. And I guess that has taken away of the whole fun of creating. Um, so that's a big loss, and it means that in near future we might see the original art as a very limited access, or as something very limited, I would say.
Okay. So what do you think? Will AI affect creativity?
Indeed, it has. Now, if you see, let's say, let's talk about something as simple as Canva.
Okay.
Canva is something that has been used by 95% of the firms, it
Right.
seems. Um,
Mhm.
or I might be exaggerating the numbers, but it is very it's advent that every firm is using Canva to create art. Sometimes even I use Canva if I need to quick something quick. That has helped people out that already have a stock of images, vectors, and whatnot, and you have a set of fonts, and everything is easily available. You don't need anything. You don't need to, for example, when we used to, when I was an intern and I used to create ads, or I used to create these posters, we used to have a proper discourse on what kind of a font it should be, where should the text be situated, and why should it be there. And so there used to be a lot of discussion around it,
Mhm.
and there used to be a lot of thought. But now with templates, It's like 2 minute noodles. So yes, it has pros and cons, but very soon, as I had mentioned earlier, we are going to lose our uh, originality in art, and I fear that we are going to start sliding towards a place where people do not understand the aesthetics behind art.
Okay, now we are getting a bit personal.
Okay.
So, but with, are you a religious person?
Yes. It depends what does religion mean in this question.
Okay, okay. So, what is religion for you?
Religion is discipline.
Discipline. So, can you explain in what terms?
You religiously do something. That means you have put your heart and soul into it. So it's religion, and discipline is like passion. Discipline is for madmen who can um, wind and unwind themselves each day, no matter what. So yes, religion is discipline.
Okay, that's really meaningful. Did religion play any role in the section of Captain Looney as your pen name?
Frankly, no, because as I mentioned you, the story behind the name, it's uh, or you can say yes, religion just does play, uh, because when you are a lunatic, um, in fact, religion makes you a balmy guy. Religion is a balmy thing. If you are not religious, you cannot be a fanatic. It gives you a purpose.
So, many people may not know that you have started getting your art pieces onto t shirts and dress materials. How did you move into graphic printed t shirts making?
Well, it has always caught my eye. So the first time when I moved out of class 10th, the first time I earned money was through graphic tees. Somebody really liked my graphics and they wanted to buy them. So and put them on t-shirts. So I created graphic tees, and I had a lot of designs uh, that could be put on tees. And always I wanted to try this out. It's just that now you have too many players in the market. But I have an interest of making wearable art.
So, what was your first income with the graphies?
I think it was 1,200 rupees. 12 designs, 100 rupees each. 1,200 rupees I got. Was a steal deal.
Quite nostalgic. Why did you take this risk of creating this setup of your own?
Why did I take the risk of creating my own setup? You mean? You need
I
to
mean,
take
yeah,
you need to take risks. That's what business is about.
that's what I am asking about. Why you took that risk?
I've always taken risks. I feel that this time I played safe.
How has the response of the people so far?
People love it. Um, I'm getting a lot of positive response, and this is the kind of T-shirt that people don't see often, and the art is unique, and people like it.
Do you have any specific color section pattern for your design?
I love to work with a lot of red and black. Red being the color for passion and black being the color of power. But it comes automatically to me that I use red and black also because it was easily available for me. And sometimes I use suggestive colors, depends on what the theme is. According to the theme, I like to use various colors.
Okay. My next question to you is, आप आर्टिस्ट बनना चाहते हो या एक ब्रांड बनना चाहते हो?
मैं एक ब्रांड बनना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज जब तक आप एक ब्रांड नहीं हो तब तक आपको कोई एज एन आर्टिस्ट भी रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करेगा।
ओके, तो ब्रांड होता क्या है आपके अकॉर्डिंग?
ब्रांड एक फैमिली है जो आपको फॉलो करती है हर जगह।
हम्म।
एक बहुत ही क्लोज नेट दोस्तों का एक झुंड होता है, जो आप उनके साथ होते हो और वो आपके साथ होते हैं।
That's great. So we have a situation.
हम्म।
There's a startup and there's a well-established organization which has more potentials to become a brand according to you.
There's a startup, and the second one was a well-established organization. Yeah.
Or well-established organizations which has more potentials to become a brand according to you.
It depends. I would have to say, I would. So this is like one of those maths questions where the data is incomplete. So I would to be a brand, a lot of processes need to be taken. So I'll have to see what processes they are, what steps they are taking, what processes are they undergoing, what is their mindset, because both can be a brand,
Hmm.
both can be the best brand in the world.
So, have you heard of the campaign by Burger King against bullying, where it turned one of the letters in its name to gray color?
No, tell me about it. I think I missed it.
No.
It's
Okay.
interesting. Educate me.
Burger King is out with a new video that's putting bullying into perspective.
तो बर्गर किंग के लोगो एंड रेस्टोरेंट्स में कुछ आइटम्स को ग्रे बनाकर 1 in 10 चिल्ड्रंस को हाईलाइट किया गया था, इम्फेसाइजिंग द प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ बुलिंग। बर्गर किंग ने चैरिटी ले पेपेलॉन्स को सपोर्ट भी दिया था और नवंबर 9, 2023 को किंग जूनियर्स मेन्यूज से मिलने वाले प्रॉफिट्स को डोनेट किया। तो कैंपेन के गोल्स थे बच्चों के बीच जो बुलिंग के अवेयरनेस है उसको बढ़ाना है, बुलिंग को रोकने के लिए लोगों को इंस्पायर करना है और ले पेपलॉन्स चैरिटी को सपोर्ट करना है। तो इसी केस स्टडी पर हम अपने गेस्ट के थॉट्स को जानना चाहते हैं।
My first question is, in your opinion, how impactful is the use of brand influence and creative campaign to address society problems?
Hmm. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, how Modi the brand, Modi is also a brand. How
Yeah,
that influenced
absolutely.
the boycott Maldives campaign. And now you
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of people who want to cancel their Maldives tickets and rather want to visit Lakshadweep, all because our great Prime Minister visited uh, Lakshadweep. So brands help you out. If not seeing things politically, let's say what Nike was doing back in the day, or they were they were running the advertisements around all the upcoming sports people, and they were concerned about how their product can influence their performance. Hence, Nike was seen as this really sporty brand who was always looking out for new talent. So the brands always help you out. They always that consistency always helps them to be perceived in a particular manner.
So, did you believe initiatives like this can genuinely make a difference in the rising awareness about issues like bullying?
Of course. For example, there Akshay Kumar, the brand. Akshay Kumar as a personality can also be considered as a brand. You see his ads before every movie, where he gives you two messages that you should quit smoking and uh, you should employ healthy practices like using sanitary pads um,
Hmm.
during menstruation cycle.
Hmm.
Now, bullying, tackling a social problem like bullying can be tackled in the same way. You can have people who can generate an awareness And I think a lot of there were campaigns all over universities in India mm, that supported anti-bullying. So yes, brands do help tackling day-to-day issues as anti-bullying.
Okay. Now we are in our last segment.
Okay.
We have had a hearty conversation. So
Thank you.
this is so what we will do.
What we will do, I think I'll have to after this.
Yeah, I'm telling it to you. So what we will do is we share some of your designs on screen, and you will tell us what did you make it and what does it represent.
Fuck me. Okay.
Yeah, this is the first design. So
This was indeed, this is the first time I tried visual poetry. Yes, this was actually made on 14th Feb, if you see the date. And I
yeah,
signed myself as Captain Looney. If you see on the top, I make this guy who is purple and he's just staring at a cityscape. That's
yeah,
what I to do. And he has a big nose. He's probably lying to himself. He's staring at a um, he's staring in the abyss at the vast nothingness, but there's a lot happening inside that can be seen in his eyes. And it all suggests that silence is a ticking bomb and there's a fucking fight between your heart and your fucking brain. That's it.
yeah.
Oh.
And about this.
Well, it was about, again, me questioning religion when I was a young kid. And back there is my copy of Adventures of Rusty behind the art piece. And again, how religion is portrayed on screen and how it becomes commercialized. So this is Krishna's Vishwa Swarup, that or the Brahman Swarup of Krishna that he showed to Arjun on the battlefield. The thing you see of somebody shouting or that wide mouth open is actually the real me behind my silence. And Krishna is holding a bottle of Coke or Pepsi, suggesting how religion is commercialized and is not the affairs of, it's not personal anymore. Basically, it's become very how to say that. And again, it has many layers under it, and there are a lot of masks under that are doing things in the name of religion.
Okay, let us know about this.
Oh, good. So again, this you can say this is a self-portrait of me staring in the nothingness and me talking to myself about my chaos. And you can say that is the real me behind the mask, behind the face that I portray to have in the society. It's macabre, it's twisted, it is unformed, it is transforming, and in the I call it an ode to Delhi because in the Delhi the in the background Delhi honks you and haunts you in the process.
The next one is here.
Oh, this was actually for a play called Hamilton for a dear friend Kannanoni. When I was working with him, I could not work with him on this project as a kid back then, and a very excited kid. And in the background is my copy of Frankenstein. And I was supposed to create an animation piece for Kannan for his play called Hayavadan by the great Girish Karnad, great writer and a great actor. So this was one of the main characters in the play of this lady who is in a dilemma whom to choose. So
Hmm.
I used a bit of Kannada style shadow puppet uh, for the characters. Oh fuck! Where did you get this? Okay. So again, okay. So this is an aid to classroom learning. I would say this is how you are trained to be a co-worker in a dumb art school, and you're not taught to look outside the box, but you're taught to follow. And I detested that. Hence, to take a pencil, canvas ka janaza, and it is strangling of an artist's soul. It is trying to cut hands of an octopus who knows how to escape. A very intelligent being who knows how to escape the coop and be something. This is how you are made a puppet in the society.
Okay. Now we are about to end this conversation. So उससे पहले I would like to know from you what is your childhood memory about storytelling?
My mom used to tell me stories. She used to recite me this. She used to tell me the stories of Ramayana every day, and I used to love sketching the battle between Ram and Ravan. When I was in KG, in class two, I made my first comic book, and I loved reading stories. I loved stories uh, of Ramayana and Mahabharata. I used to read a lot of Amar Chitra Katha and Veer Balak and Veer Balika and all those books, Tinkle, Champa, and comics, not comics, Shaktiman, and then Indian animators really influenced my style of art, and I learned how to explore my style from Indian animators like Vaibhav Kumaresh, Shaz Ahmed turned out to be a great mentor for me, and I love how Suresh Area, Neena Sandani, and Damayan Vyas and all these again Vaibhav Kumaresh and all these great guys who work. They're all amazing guys for me, and then reading my then I read my first graphic novel, which was by Sanat Banerjee. Um, Great guy and writes amazing graphic novels. So that's how my style was shaped as a kid, and my style of storytelling shaped up.
Fine. So what was your first comic about?
My first comic was about Ramayana. I sketched the whole Ram Katha behind a notebook.
Do you think personal journeys, if presented to people, can inspire them to push their boundaries?
Personal journeys do help you out because essentially it's you will be you're unique in your own way, and you should follow what intrigues you, and you'll get there and you'll push your boundaries every day when you start enjoying yourself.
We feel grateful for this time
Thank
and
you.
conversation.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to say before we wrap?
Hey guys, so I had a wonderful time answering questions and spending time with the Unwrapped Label team, and it was wonderful. A wonderful experience, and never expected so many diverse, beautiful questions. And it's a wonderful initiative by Divya Jha, a beautiful friend and a mentor. Also, the dream is beautiful. Tabassum, Swati, amazing guys. And I really hope you do well with this venture. And I believe that we need more such podcasts um, that are beyond giving the dopamine experience to the audience and giving real insights to the society. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.